You know how to crochet. Why are you buying a kit like this? Unfortunately, this video might be a little bit boring because I know how to crochet already. It's definitely more fun to watch a beginner struggle. Am I like a sadist for saying that? Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tina and this is my tiny yarn corner. If you hear some scurrying around, it's because I have to bring my bunny in since we are in the middle of like a crazy blizzard right now. So I figured today would be a perfect time to try something that I have been wanting to do for a very long time, and that is a goddamn wooble. So if you aren't familiar with me and my channel, generally I do a lot more like knitting here. But between knitting and crocheting, I did learn crocheting first. I learned when I was about maybe like 9 or 10 years old, and I learned from one of my aunts. At the time, we were doing a lot of like single crochet and double crocheting, and I would make like little like scarves and stuff here and there. But since then, I haven't really picked up crocheting, generally because lately I've been knitting a lot more. That doesn't mean that I am not a victim to all of the cute Amigurumi kits that I've been seeing online. I keep getting ads for them on my Instagram and they are so cute and it makes me really want to try. And here we are to this video. I have two here. I have done an Amigurumi before. I've done a Stitch and Story Hello Kitty Amigurumi and it turned out like this. And I think this one cost about like $50 to $60 at the time that I was gifted this. I was super into these like Stitch and Story Amigurumi kits because they had the cutest designs. But once I tried one, you had to make all the pieces and then you had to sew them all together. You had to like embroider the face on. So I just felt like it was just too much work. And so I'm not completely a beginner at crocheting, but I would not say I am the most technically advanced either. I can definitely get through a pattern. So why a wooble, okay, if I didn't really enjoy like the Amigurumi kit that I did before? I am just too curious. That is simply it. These things, I have been getting ads for them non-stop. And I know that they are sort of geared towards beginners. And so I did buy one of these for my brother for Christmas because he had requested it and he wanted to try it because he too was also a victim of the wooble ads. One of these kits is actually pretty expensive. And I don't know if this is a hot take, but to me, it's pretty high up there in price compared to other crochet kits that are on the market right now. Like for example, you go to Five Below and get a crochet Amigurumi kit for like $5. But one of these could be as low as like $30 and upwards of like $50 depending on the character that you choose or the complexity of the model. So to me, that is like really expensive. That kind of put me off from wanting to try it. One day, you know, I was rotting away on Facebook Marketplace and I saw that somebody was selling two of these. I think it was like $30 or $40 for the both of them. I personally wouldn't pay more than like $20 for one of these. I know it comes with the crochet hook, the tapestry needles and everything, but that's kind of my personal opinion. Maybe I've gotten like super used to like seeing super cheap crochet kits online that I'm getting like jaded to that I like can't see the value in spending more money than that. Anyways, that's besides the point. I got two of these for a really great price. The first one is Fred the Dino, and then the second one is Bjorn the Narwhal. And both of these retail for $30. So here we go, let's do it. Side note, even my mom was questioning like why the heck I got these because she was like, you know how to crochet, why are you buying a kit like this? I'm so excited. A crochet hook, the wee woobly bits. The instructions are on a QR code here. It looks like you can add this pattern to an account, probably so that like if you ever lose this paper that you could, you know, get back into the pattern. I might as well while I'm here. This is kind of like more work than I thought. Let me get all this settled and I'll be right back. So the tutorial is broken up into like different sections of the plushie. So the first section was like just an overview about how the pattern is gonna work. They did like a little disclaimer of like, because you're a beginner, you know, you are gonna get frustrated, but you know, they try to reassure you that there are multiple different ways you can troubleshoot and there are videos that will help you get through it. So I thought that was really cute. Because I find so many of these on Facebook Marketplace, I sort of assume that like either people give up and they just don't want to do this anymore, so the success rate might not be as high as everyone thinks, or you know, they just lose interest. That's just how it is with a new hobby. Sometimes you find out that it's for you, and sometimes you find out that it's not for you. The first section is the basics, where they'll teach you how to single crochet, how to increase, how to read a pattern, and then finally, after you watch all of the most basic techniques, you would go into the pattern itself. Finally, I finished watching all the basics. So what I noticed about this was that they'll make the magic circle for you, and they'll start pretty much the first row for you with the magic circle. They also mark the first 3 stitches with stitch markers already for you. I hope they're paying that person that is like making all of these fair wage, but I don't know. But I guess that makes it like extremely easy for a beginner. I mean, like the first step is already done for you. Another thing I want to say is this is really plush, like t-shirt yarn. I didn't expect that. But because it's like a tube, this yarn is definitely like perfect for a beginner because you're less likely to split the yarn. And then another thing that I realized was that I think that they sewed it together. I can tell you the first loop seems like it was sewn right into the unit here. I meant to like pull the yarn end to make this loop a little bit smaller, but I can't adjust that first stitch at all. My suspicion is that they sewed that first stitch so that you don't like completely mess up, pull too hard, and then like unravel this entire magic circle that they did for you. I finally finished this Wooble. It took me 1 hour and 48 minutes. Honestly, I thought it would take me a lot less time, but I think like it took more time because I had to like film and then also watch some videos along the way. So here's how much extra material I had left after I finished the entire project. Basically, I didn't even use the black yarn at all. The kit came with safety eyes, but they also provided black yarn so that in case you don't want to use the safety eyes, that you could just embroider the eyes with the black yarn instead. And they recommend for like children, it's safer not to use the safety eyes even though it's called safety eyes. So yeah, they provided the black yarn just so that you can embroider that. But all in all, this kit pretty much gives you everything that you need, minus like the scissors to cut the yarn. It came with an extra safety eye, definitely gave you a lot of extra material. The crocheting experience was super fun, and the hook that they give you is actually super smooth as well. I didn't have like many problems with like resistance when I was crocheting, and the great thing is this hook actually has a size on it. So it's a 4mm crochet hook, which will be really useful in the future if you want to like reuse this hook for anything else that you want to do. I will definitely be using this in the future. Had I known I was going to do this, I probably wouldn't have bought another clover for millimeter hook. Even for a non-beginner like me, I learned a lot of things with this kit. One of the things is that I got into the habit of marking my first stitch. I know it sounds super like elementary, but whenever I was crocheting or whenever I like did amigurumi, I would never mark the first stitch, and so it would mess me up whenever I would like crochet in the round, and then I can't figure out what is the beginning and what's the end. And so this kit pretty much forced me to get into that habit, because basically after every round they would remind you to like put your stitch marker back on or like readjust your stitch marker for the next round. And then I also learned that I had been doing my invisible decreases wrong. I don't know if I was making it wrong or I was making it differently, but I did end up relearning as part of this project to do them properly, I guess. I assume that these are the proper ways to do it because what do I know? I'm definitely not the most experienced amigurumi crocheter. Like I said in the beginning of the video, they do the first magic circle for you. I assume it's so that you would get like sort of a head start and you don't have to start from scratch, which can be a little bit daunting for some people. I felt like it would have been useful for the beginners to like learn how to do a magic circle. Later towards the pattern, they did end up teaching you how to do it for the other pieces in the project. I liked the method of magic circle that they used for this as well. So because the Narwhal color that I got is a little bit different from, I guess, their first reiteration of this, that at some points in the video, they referred to like blue yarn. In terms of verbiage, I probably would have said main color instead of like blue color. But I mean, I think you can somewhat infer what color you need to choose to make each piece based on the pictures. The problem is that the pictures that they provide is only from like one angle. It's only from the front. Never mind that. This entire time, I felt like the video tutorials being so detailed was like sort of annoying because I am not a beginner crocheter. So I had to like click through quite a few videos to get to the like pattern itself. I only just now realized that I could download like a PDF written version of the pattern. So that's my bad. And I had so much fun doing the body probably the most, but I didn't like having to crochet like so many tiny pieces for like the fins and the tail. And I also really hated having to sew all these pieces together. And that was probably the biggest challenge for me in terms of like getting motivated to continue the project. Having to sew everything and then having so many ends to weave in. Yeah, it was just super annoying. But luckily this pattern is quite simple, so there weren't as many pieces as the last amigurumi that I did. Finally, here's the reveal of what it looks like. Ta-da! Yeah, it is so cute. I really love it. Okay, so would I recommend this for beginners or whoever wants to make amigurumi? Yes, of course. All the tutorials are super detailed. The pattern is quite simple, so it's pretty easy to follow. I love that like you get everything that you need. I don't know if I would pay $30 for this. Like I would probably wait for a sale or something, or like find somebody on Facebook Marketplace that's selling it for cheap. I really want to do another one of these, but I don't want to have like so many extra tools, because every single kit comes with a hook, like tapestry needles, like a bunch of stitch markers. I don't like want those again. I just want like a little bit more yarn and a new pattern. So I'm curious to know whether they sell like just the pattern and the yarn without all these extra tools, because I don't really see the point in like, let's say I do like 5 of these and then suddenly I have like 5 4mm needles, you know? And yeah, for my first experience with a Wooble, it was so fun. I really loved it. I can see why like there's so much hype about this. And I actually gifted my brother another Fred the Dino in like a different color. So I'm curious to see how it goes for him, because he's never crocheted. He like never crafts. Like he's maybe done 1 Lego. I don't know if I can see my brother enjoying doing this. I feel like he'll give up and then like just hand it over to me to finish. That's pretty much it for this video. If you like me, if you like hanging out with me, you like this video, go ahead and like and definitely subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye! The video was supposed to end like here. I didn't plan to, quite frankly, make more of these. But I was scrolling on Facebook Marketplace again, And someone else was also selling 2 more of these for like 30 bucks. So because I really enjoyed the process of making that first one, like I for some reason had like a hyperfixation and I really wanted to make another one. And so that's what I did. I picked up another set from Facebook. I gifted the pink dinosaur to another one of my friends, and then I ended up making the lion out of this like second like set of Woobles that I got, and giving the dinosaur to another one of my friends. For some reason, like all the dinosaurs that I have, I like end up giving away, but that's besides the point. I felt like the lion was like really interesting, so I really wanted to make that one. And so here's some of the footage from that.
I think this one took me a little bit longer, probably about like 2.5 to 3 hours or something. This time, like, I got my bearings straight and I didn't watch any of the videos because at this point I knew how to do stuff. I basically just went right off of the written pattern until I had to get to the mane, and I was a little bit confused about the instructions on that, so I went back and like watched a video. I honestly don't know how anybody used to like knit or crochet without a video for some like more confusing techniques that are very difficult to describe verbally. But anyways, same as the first kit that I did, I still had so much extra material. I had a bunch of extra stuffing, I had a bunch of extra yarn, of course. Now I randomly have like 2 Woobles crochet hooks in the same size. in my collection. On top of my like 4mm Clover Amour hook, I just have a lot of this size now. As you know, they give you so much extra like yarn and materials and like extra safety eyes that I actually had enough to make a third Wooble. Yeah, so I made a second narwhal. I really wanted to try and make the dinosaur. I gave the dinosaur to my friend. We ended up having like a crochet session together at my house. And so I wanted to do the dinosaur pattern with her, but like I definitely didn't have enough yarn for that. So I ended up going back and just making a narwhal, which is simpler and required way less yarn. It became a whole ordeal because I was trying to like figure out what color I should do for the main body. And like I started with the pink and realized I didn't have enough. Then I had to restart over with a yellow, and then like, I don't know, trying to figure out how much material I had for like each section was really annoying. So that took me a while, and I think it ended up taking me like about the same time, if not more, than the first kit, because I was just like trying to figure out how much yarn I had and whether I would be able to finish the section. So here's what my friends ended up looking like. She had a much looser tension than I did when she was crocheting it. And obviously I'm not a beginner crocheter, so I was trying to enlist a beginner to give me some feedback about the Wooble. So I asked my friend what she thought, but she's like a little bit busy right now, so I will have to get back to you on that in post. As promised, editing Tina here. My friend did get back to me, and she said that the step-by-step video tutorials made crochet really easy to learn for a complete beginner. She said that she appreciated how she can just replay the videos whenever she's unsure about something. She also said that she loved how each step or round is relatively quick to finish and or easy to reset if she needed to start over, which kept her very engaged and motivated. And the overall experience was really enjoyable and gave her a sense of accomplishment, plus now she has a cute dino that she can keep. I have taught this friend to knit before, but now that she's tried crocheting, she said that she actually prefers crochet, and she had a lot of fun like just counting single crochets while she was doing it. I taught her how to knit the cardigan number 7 multiple years ago, but I don't think she ever finished that project. I think maybe she had made it to the body, and then I don't think she ever picked it up again. But that pattern is actually really, really easy. I mean, there's no short rows, and it's basically like back and forth knitting. Anyways, she said that she much rather would do crochet. Okay, so in total, I have made 3 Woobles, but I think my hyperfixation is over now. I'm pretty much done with this. I don't think I want to do another one. I think I've done enough Woobles. But I don't want to have like so many extra hooks of the same size, and I also don't want to have like so much extra material that I don't really know what the heck to do with it. So yeah, I think my hyperfixation is done now. Me trying to convince myself. I don't have the other 2, and I also no longer have the Hello Kitty Pusheen model that I made, as I ended up giving them all to my younger cousins abroad. I probably won't keep this either. I'm gonna find a child to like pawn this off to. Personally, I just like making them. I don't really know what the heck to do with them after I'm done. I don't really have a use for it, to be honest. I'm trying to like declutter all of my knickknacks. I'm thinking maybe I will go and buy like the velvet yarn that a lot of crocheters use for plushies, and then I would like try to make one of these Wooble patterns with it. But that's like a project way far into the future that I have no time for at the moment, so it's just like a pipe dream that I thought of. If I were to do this again, I would probably be interested in making like the Woobles. There's like a jumbo one where like the yarn is bigger, the hook is bigger. I think the hook is like plastic or something. And there's like a really jumbo like capybara pattern. I want to do that. I want to do that so bad. A jumbo one, like a huge one, would be so cute. Also, let me know what you think about the price of these. I'm very curious what other people's opinions are, because I feel like this is sort of like a Shein, Temu, fast fashion effect on crafting in a way where like we're so used to $5 like really cheap crochet kits that are probably not that good on the market that it seems a little bit more expensive. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments on the price. Would you pay $30, $40, $50, $60 for this? I really want to also do the BT21 series, but I can't honestly swallow the price tag. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my Knitter versus Wooble 2-part saga. If you're interested in me and you like what I do here, go ahead, like and subscribe. This is the end of the video for real this time. Bye! If the Woobles wants to send me like a jumbo capybara kit, I'm not gonna say no to that.